work's easy, right? It's simple, right? Like it just, and I know what it's like to have those stressors at home. Cause again, I came from nothing too.
We all make mistakes. We all make hiring mistakes, firing mistakes, development mistakes, all type of talent mistakes. Having your people focus and you were learning from your experiences, and that's what brought you here as a leader.
Welcome back to part 2 of this very special episode of Sunny Silver Linings. Sunny's guest today is Shawn Torres, CEO at In-Telecom. In the second half of this episode, they chat about Shawn's top 3 leadership lessons he would like to share, where he sees the business and community heading in the next 5 years, and so much more. And now, your host, the founder and CEO of IT by Design, Mr. Sunny Kaila. Over to you, Sunny.
One piece that I had so much fun talking to you was your culture. And I know where you are today is because of your leadership and your intention, being very people-centric, very people-focused. And there are so many great stories, and I don't want to kind of really share things that I want you to share, because you tell those great stories where you didn't even have to buy things for people, but you ended up buying things for people, right, for your team members. So I really want to tap into that piece. Like, what are your top 3 culture lessons learned, your leadership lessons in the context of building your business with people, being very intentional about your culture? So how do you lead your culture?
I think first and foremost, and look, I've done a lot of wrong things in that world too. And learn from them very quickly, that at the end of the day, people are human, and you have to really genuinely care. And I think that, I think my entire life, I think back to my mother's personality and being this person that just would give the shirt off their back to anybody, no matter what, and always wanting to help people and not doing it expecting something back. In all transparency, when I first started this thing, obviously I just needed to make money, but then when I started hiring people, I never had a big family. It was really very small, very tight. But as I started hiring employees, like, I started to feel like they were my family, and I wanted to, I guess, really understand them, and really care and understand not like their work world, but their personal world. My number one concern every day are the people that work here, because without them, we can't have happy customers. And if we're not evolving them as individuals and really helping them elevate their life first, because I realized as I elevated my life, my personal life, work really shifted. So what happened for me is I got into competitive bodybuilding, and I got very disciplined to my eating habits, to my routine, to working out. And then I started taking segments of what I did to get myself in shape and started trying to apply that into the workforce, by just daily habits, daily routines, making yourself better every day, right? And really started asking questions around, well, like, what did you do this weekend? And how did you, did you enjoy your weekend? Did you, when you start realizing, we all, have staff that family members get sick or they're in tough times. And I wanted to help. I've always been the type of person, even outside of the company, and wanting to be embedded into the community and just help people. Like, I was literally talking to a buddy of mine a minute ago, and we were laughing. And he's like, I'm always trying to make people's company better. And it's true. Like, I just want to make people better. And when you can make people better at home, work's easy, right? It's simple, right? Like it just, and I know what it's like to have those stressors at home. Cause again, I came from nothing too. That's where I like to start, is really get to know them, really understand what makes them tick. What are their goals? What are their personal goals? Do they even have personal goals? You know, so many people in this world today don't set personal goals for themselves. And I've been victim of that because I get so hyper consumed in the company and like, it's all company driven, right? And sometimes I got to take a step back and like sit down and like write down, what are my personal goals? And people think goals have to be financial, or I'm going to quit smoking, or I'm going to quit eating ice cream, or whatever their vice may be, right? But I think it could be simple things like some of the goals that I did for myself last year were read 10 pages of a book each day, pray with my daughters every night before bed, you know, and really self-consciously telling myself every day, like I found myself going down the stairs, not doing our nightly prayer. And it turned into like my youngest daughter saying, Daddy, we didn't do our prayer. Like, and you created those habits, right? And when you do that, like good things come out of it. And I think that's where I've tried to preach that here inside the company. I'll tell everybody about a power list, that if you try to accomplish everything in your day, you'll never be successful, because I've done it for years and made so many mistakes. But if you just write down 5 things you want to accomplish for the day, and like you feel the success, and success feels good. So I think helping employees understand what success looks like too creates really good culture, because then they could feel the success. You know, I was just talking to a good friend of mine about this, and he grew his company to $1 billion in revenue in 13 years from zero. And Mark told me, he said, you know, I used to use this analogy when talking to employees, and I would show them that picture, and this is what they think rapid growth and hyper growth looks like. But really what it looks like is the guys down in the bottom of the boat, rowing the boat, struggling to get that next row because they're so tired and they're so exhausted from all the workload and all the things that go into it. And I think that, you know, being a good leader means being visible to your staff. I truly enjoy coming to work every day. You know, I think the visibility is exceptionally important. And sometimes you just got to get up, walk around, and like every day I make a conscious decision that I want to walk upstairs and just like high five and dap everybody in my help desk and my knock, and, you know, ask them how their New Year's been. I mean, I was so excited. Today's my first day back to work this year. And I will tell you, Sonny, I was so excited to get up this morning and come to work. Like I missed everybody. And it's nice to like, staff was texting me yesterday, like, hey man, are you coming back to work? It's just not the same when you're not there, you know? And it's true. Like yeah, it's almost like my playground. I hate to say that, but it is. Like I love being here and seeing people, and you know, just doing we have a warehouse manager, Reggie's his name, young guy, been with us for a very short time, and he's always asking me about my shoes. I love tennis shoes, and I have a lot of really nice tennis shoes. I never could afford tennis shoes as a kid. We couldn't afford it. I got one pair every year, and I managed to ruin those in the first month. So I had dirty shoes all the time. So when I started making some money, I started just buying lots of tennis shoes because I love them. And he would always say something to me about, man, I like those, you know. And the other day, my assistant had gotten a flat tire and was running late to work. And the first thing that came to my mind was, where are you at? I want to come change your tire for you. And I had a meeting that I had to go to. So it freaked me out. I almost canceled this meeting just to go change the tire because I didn't want her to have to change her tire. So I called Reggie and asked him if he would go change the tire for her, and he did. It made my heart melt to know that he would be willing to go do that, because that's not his job, right? But he went and did it. So I wanted to do something good for him. So I went and got him a really nice pair of Travis Scott tennis shoes that I know he would never get for himself. And he came in my office and I handed them to him, and he looked at me and he's like, are you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious. It's for you. And it felt good. Like, it's a pair of shoes that I don't even have, that I really want, that I haven't gotten yet, that I was able to give to him. And it, again, like I want to impact their lives in so many positive ways, and just make them better people, and elevate them in their career and their personal life. And I think that's where it starts, Sonny. I think that in order to create that success, you just got to want to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're intentional. That's what I'm hearing. And when you said, like, hey, I have learned along the way, and I have the same feeling and perspective that, I'm making a lot less foolish mistakes when it comes to culture and how I go about decision making with people. How can I, how do I lead them? It's very different today than 10 years ago, than 5, But I think that's the best thing. The one thing that you see when you were sharing your story and now the culture story is that you are a person, you're open to learn. You're open to kind of really learn from the experiences. You're transforming yourself. And when you didn't know the balance sheet, you didn't know numbers, kind of, like when you're spending your own cash, it kind of really impacts you quickly. But then you learn. So if you're learning and growing and you get to learn how to go about the balance sheet and everything else. And then it came to culture, we all make mistakes. We all make hiring mistakes, firing mistakes, development mistakes, all type of talent mistakes, all type of client handling mistakes. But what I was hearing was that you were open, you honest, having your people focus, and you were learning from your experiences, and that's what brought you here as a leader. When you were going through your overall thinking, okay, buying tennis shoes to, I know you paid for the wedding as well for, your team members, do a lot of things where you didn't have to do those. I pulled this piece of paper. I keep this as a reminder, and I got this, someone shared it on LinkedIn some time back. And then I'm like, this is good stuff. And I want to read this to you because every single word that is there, it was in your conversation. So this is what it says. It says, leaders with influence. And the first line it says is, they give when they don't have to. There's so many examples that's a proof behind that you're a giver, you're a go-giver for your people, for community around you. You care for others. And it was kind of really so clear in your conversation. And then grow continuously. We already talked about it. The continuous transformation that you shared. They live authentic life. They live authentically. Empower others. Manage hardship. You manage your hardship when you didn't have bills, stuff you didn't have enough income to pay when you were struggling as the early entrepreneur. You managed that hardship. You showed that resilience. And the last piece here on this list is they serve with the humility. And every single word from give, care, and grow, live, empower, manage hardship, serve with humility. I see this in you. And that's why you are the leader with influence. And that's how you were able to scale to this level as well. So now one more question that I want to ask you before we close this is, so understanding, so really people focused, really helping, caring about people, helping them. A lot of times, people don't want their boss to come to the office, but your people, they were missing you. That's wonderful to see. You love them. You get an energy. And you have something special about you, Shawn, that I have seen this at IT Nation during dinner. Anytime I'm having conversation, you bring a lot of positive energy. And I think that's the energy that your people were talking about and they were missing. But the last question is, where do you see yourself, in the, let's say next 5 years? What's your vision? And who is the right fit in terms of working in your culture, in your company? So I want to share with people like where is they're looking for opportunities. It could be partnership opportunities that MSPs are looking for, or tech talent, sales talent, where they're looking for opportunities. So they know, like now they know your culture and everything. I want them to know your vision.
I could see myself being here with 300 employees. Today we have about 87. I sometimes close my eyes and envision myself at our annual meeting talking to 300 team members and really looking at the vision of where the company's going and what we're doing, and just helping more people, helping more customers. I'm looking at the things that we get to do in the community, in the community service that we do, in the community outreach that we do, and just doing a lot more of that. I think that understanding what we're building, elevating people here inside the company, creating a space for them to come to work that is just fun, that's exciting. I think we've all went through the last couple of years just with a lot of stress with COVID and the economy and all these just negative things. And that I feel that what I can do as a leader is create a positive reinforcement in their life, and really just get them to a place that they can be happy and successful. And I know that it's not going to be a fit for everyone. We know that. We're learning that as we continue our journey, because not everybody wants that out of their career. And that's okay. I don't see anything wrong with that. But I could see myself, in all honesty, Sunny, I could see myself letting go more. And I'm doing a better job of that today than I was yesterday. And just letting the business flourish, and being the true visionary that I know that I can be, and that I want to be. I want to live my life that what creates passion for me, and I want to do the same for others. I want to create passion for them that gets them where they want to go. And I could see us being one of the top MSPs in the nation, but I don't really care about that. We've gotten Inc. 5,000 4 years in a row, and it's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, it's great. But I will tell you this, we had a bunch of interviews coming in today, and two of them stopped in my office and talked to me today and had conversations. Man, seeing people smile and just be here and just want to work here, like, gets me so excited. Like, I can't, it puts me in the best mood that could ever be. And that's just what I want to do. I want to have more staff members. I want to be able to crush their challenges and overcome the hardships of life, and just take some people with me, man. I could have sold this thing already and rode into the sunset with a bunch of money. But I'll be honest with you, Sonny, it doesn't get me excited, man. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you're people person, people focused. That's what gives you joy. And that's what, so we are celebrating 20th anniversary this year, Shawn.
It's incredible.
ITBD's 20th anniversary. And it's like, when we are seeing our journey and everything, we're like, oh, this is success with significance, because we're very similar in our mindsets and thinking in terms of very people, making a difference, making positive impact on people, adding value to them. How can I do that by, kind of expand my impact? And I see the same thing there, that you are, when you talk with these people, happy and growing, and okay, we don't have to be $1 billion company as long as we are making progress, we're moving up and we're serving people right. And that's like success with significance. And I truly appreciate you, my friend, truly appreciate your time, taking the time to come and share your journey, share your experiences. And there's just so much to learn from your journey. And the one thing that, our next generation, that you don't need to go to school to do something. If you have the grit, you have the hard work, the hunger, and the humility, is then everything is possible. So dream big, work hard, smart, have that grit, and be a good kind of person with a good CEO of yourself, in a way that you're learning and growing from your experiences and your curiosity around you, so that you keep absorbing. If you're not managed service, you can be managed services. If you are fitness, you can be the person who can kind of start a business with saving people money from billing efficiencies and all that. So there's just so much to learn, and everything is possible. That's what you're proving as a leader, that everything is possible in this world if you do the right thing, and you do it the right way, and you do it for the right reasons. And thank you so much, Shawn, for coming to my show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate you.
Thank you for watching Sunny's Silver Linings. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.